Hey everybody, welcome to TechMart Gaming. In today's video, I'm going to be comparing the PlayStation Portal with the M2 iPad Pro using Remote Play. I will be using the DualSense controller to control the Remote Play experience on the iPad Pro. Keep in mind that I will be doing this on my local Wi-Fi network that's connected to my PlayStation 5. But before I get into the video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to TechMart Gaming so I can be recommended to more gamers like yourself. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, connecting to the PS5 via Remote Play is a lot easier than I expected on the iPad Pro. All you have to do is download the PlayStation Remote Play app and you'll log into your account. And the best part about the DualSense controller is that it comes with Bluetooth, so it's easy to pair with the iPad. And as you guys can see, the Remote Play experience is running pretty smooth. Connecting to the PS5 via Remote Play using the PlayStation Portal is an easy process as well. This is actually a lot more simple in my opinion because everything feels a lot more cohesive. I like the background theme and the music that comes along with the pairing process. And the best part about this is that I don't have to download an app to use Remote Play. Now, as you guys can see, the PlayStation Portal is now connected and everything is running fairly smooth. Now, the first game that I'm going to play on the M2 iPad Pro is the Crew MotorFest. This is actually one of my favorite racing games. It just gives me a great nostalgia and the colors are vibrant and beautiful. Racing inside of Hawaii, you really can't go wrong with understanding how cars work and just how the environment looks with them. Now, the first thing that I noticed is that the DualSense controller does not have any vibrations while drifting or riding over grass. It does have haptics, but you know, it really takes you out of the immersion of the video game. This won't bother a lot of people, but this is definitely a compromise knowing that the PlayStation Portal exists. I also noticed that there was a longer input delay, which made it harder to hit those turns and control my car whenever I needed to. But other than that, the display is great for portability and taking it on the go, and the speakers are quite loud, so you won't be disappointed. Playing the Crew MotorFest on the PlayStation Portal feels like a completely different experience. The first thing that I noticed was the vibrations and haptics. I really felt a lot more immersed into the game, and the screen placement is perfect for on-the-go gaming. And as you guys can see, the light bar on the PlayStation Portal is lighting up yellow and red. This is one of the experiences that you can have when you're playing directly on the PlayStation 5. So for Sony to bring that over to the PlayStation Portal is a game changer. As you guys can see, the gameplay is fairly smooth. There's a little micro stuttering going on, but it really doesn't bother me because it clears up fairly fast, and the input delay is a lot more faster than the DualSense controller paired up with the iPad Pro. Another thing that I noticed is that the thumbsticks are just a tad bit more smaller compared to the DualSense controller, which is fine because you quickly forget about it once you immerse yourself into the gameplay. Now, the second game that I'm going to play on the M2 iPad Pro is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I'm going to be playing the online experience. This is a controversial game because a lot of people feel like you can't really play competitive games, but if you're good at Call of Duty, you can make it happen. I use a sniper and I use an SMG to get those quick and precise shots whenever I need to. I also do like the 11-inch screen size that the iPad Pro provides because I can actually see in my peripheral view and from a decent distance. Now, like I stated in the last game, the haptic triggers are the only thing that's supported, which is actually fine because in most mobile games that you play directly from the iPad or iPhone, you still don't get any vibrations or haptics with the DualSense controller. Now, before we play Call of Duty on the PlayStation Portal, if you are enjoying this video, be sure to smash that like button, comment below and tell me what games you'd like to play on your Remote Play devices, and subscribe to TechMart Gaming. Modern Warfare 3 on the PlayStation Portal is a godsend in my opinion because it gives you a lot more immersion into the game, and I gotta say, the graphics ain't looking too bad, y'all. Now, when it comes down to people with riot shields, you really can't beat them, so it's hard to really do that on Remote Play, but when it comes down to sniping, man, this thing is chef's kiss. When I'm running around with an SMG, it's easier to get kills on the board for some odd reason, and if it comes down to the screen size, I notice that it's a tad bit more difficult to see your enemies from a distance. So I really have to focus and concentrate a lot more, and there's people that's playing directly on the PlayStation 5 or from different consoles, so they're going to have the advantage over you. I highly suggest that you just play casually competitive. The next game that I'm going to play on the M2 iPad Pro is Fall Guys. This is one of my favorite games for when I just want to play a lot more casually compared to Call of Duty or something crazy like that. This is a fun brain game that you can play online with a lot of other people that's from different consoles. I really don't see any input lag or any stuttering when it comes down to playing a simple game like this. For the PlayStation Portal, Fall Guys is a completely different story. The haptics woke up the device. It feels like I'm a lot more immersed whenever I'm sliding down a certain slide or if I bump into into a character, the PlayStation Portal rumbles and it feels very good in the hands. As you guys can see, Fall Guys is a very vibrant game. They have a lot of colors inside of each map, and it makes you realize how great the display is on the PlayStation Portal, and it's kind of hard to see it on camera, but if you saw it in person, this thing will blow you away. Now the last and final game that I'm going to play on the M2 iPad Pro is Grand Theft Auto 5. This is one of my favorite games to play because it's open world, and honestly it feels like a real life simulation. From being able to crash into cop cars to running around doing some crazy things, this is probably the best game to play while you're on remote play. Now this is the PS5 remastered version, so you do have haptic triggers, which comes in handy when you're trying to fire off a gun, or if you're driving and you want to press down on the pedal, you do feel that resistance. And the screen size, which is 11 inches on an iPad, is a perfect size for this game. I don't see any lags or micro stutters, but there is a slight input delay when using Bluetooth with the DualSense controller, so always keep that in mind. But honestly, this is still a great game, especially if you're playing the story mode. You won't really notice anything crazy. Now, a cool thing that I noticed during the filming of this video, if you're being chased by the police, the DualSense controller's light bar will light up blue and red, so shout out to the developers for incorporating that into the remote play experience. Playing GTA 5 on the PlayStation Portal is always going to be my favorite because, again, the vibrations and the haptics are always going to immerse me inside of the gameplay a lot more better compared to just having those haptics on a DualSense controller. Now when you're riding bikes or boats, you can feel the whole controller rumble in your hands, and for some people they may want to turn this down, but me, I really do love the immersion like I said, and the input delay is non-existent. As long as you have a great Wi-Fi connection like me, you should be fine. This is also taking into account that I love to play online mode, not really the story mode unless I just want to sit down and play really casually, but I can still be competitive with other players, which is great for this device. With that being said, both devices are capable of using remote play for your PlayStation 5. It just depends on which feature you want to compromise. If you want a bigger screen, go with the 11-inch iPad and get a DualSense controller. Just know that the vibrations aren't supported. And if you want to go with the PlayStation Portal, just know that you're going to get all of those haptics and vibrations. The screen is going to be a little bit more smaller at 8 inches. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to smash that like button, comment below and tell me what games you like to play on the PlayStation Portal or on your remote play device. And subscribe to Techmark Gaming and turn that bell notification on so you can be updated when I post a new video. In the meantime, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Deuces.